Zapier is an online automation platform that allows users to connect their favorite apps and services to automate repetitive tasks without needing any coding skill. My name is Femi, and in this video, I will show you the basic Zap setup that you need to learn to start automating some of your business tasks. To get started with Zapier, you will have to go to zapier.com to register an account. This video will not cover that aspect, but it is very easy to sign up with Zapier. Here is my Zapier dashboard. In order to create an automation, you will need to create something called Zap. So move your mouse to the top left side of the screen and click the Create button, then click Zap. As you can see on the screen, a Zap is basically divided into two parts, trigger and action. The copilot you see on this screen here is not part of the Zap, but it can help you in case you don't get what you are looking for. I'm going to ignore it because it is not part of this video, so let's move on. The trigger part of this Zap is the event that needs to occur to trigger the automation. Take for example, I have an email list with thousands of subscribers, and every time I upload a new video on my YouTube channel, I want to send an email newsletter to inform my audience. In that case, my trigger will be YouTube. So I will click on the trigger. As you can see in this pop-up, there is a list of tools you can choose from, and most importantly, a search box is here. Zapier gives you the ability to connect over 7,000 apps. So if the service you are looking for is not listed, all you need to do is to use the search box to find it. In the search box, I'm going to input YouTube and then click on it. Now on the right side of the screen, here are the steps to set up the trigger. The first step is to set the event. There are 4 events available for this YouTube trigger, but in this case, I am going to choose this new video in channel event because I want this automation to run only when a new video is uploaded to my channel. So click continue. The next step is to connect my account. One critical part of setting up automation with Zapier is that you must authenticate any app or services you want to use, either for the trigger or for the action steps. In this case, I will need to authenticate my YouTube account and connect it with my Zapier account. After the authentication, click continue. The next step now is to input my channel ID. So I will do that and then click continue. This is the last part of the trigger, and it is the most critical part. We need to populate the Zap with some placeholder data that will represent the type of data that will be sent to the system when the automation goes live. For example, I need data about YouTube videos like title, description, URL, data like that. This is what we will then use as a placeholder to set up the Zap actions. It is important to know that for any platform or app that you choose as your trigger, before you can move forward to set the action, there must be a placeholder data. So to get a placeholder data, I'm going to click on the test trigger button. I have some data to run on now. These are the videos I uploaded recently. I will select one of them. I will then move on by clicking the Continue with Selected Record button. The trigger has been successfully set up. Now, we need to begin setting up the action steps. It is important to know that while you can only use one single trigger for an automation, you can add as many actions as the automation requires. So, let's move on to set up the action. Don't forget, the task of this automation is to inform my email subscribers every time I post a new video to my YouTube channel. My action steps will be to do exactly that. I use MailChimp for my email campaigns, so I am going to go right here and search for MailChimp. Click on it. Just as the trigger has 4 different steps, the action most of the time will have the same number of steps, which are app and event, account, action, and test. To move forward, we need to start from the app and event step. Here, we will select the action we want to take. If you click on this input box, You will see the list of actions that are available for the app you have selected. In this case, MailChimp. The action I want to perform is to send an email campaign about my newly uploaded video. But first, I need to create the campaign, and luckily the action is listed here, so I'm going to select Create Campaign. Then click Continue. The next step is to authenticate the MailChimp account that I intended to use, just as we did with the YouTube trigger. It is the same process. After the authentication, click Continue to move to the next step. This is where we set up the Create Campaign action. If you look at this section here, you will see that all the fields here are the same fields that you will need to fill if you want to create a new campaign on the MailChimp platform. The only difference is that we are using Zapier to automate the process. This will be the same for every platform that you might want to use in your own automation. So to move forward, I will fill the form with the appropriate data. The first field is the campaign name. This is where I need to apply wisdom because the automation is going to run every time I upload a new video, which means it is going to create a new campaign each time. I want to make the campaign name unique. So because of that, I will include the video title from the data populated from the trigger. I will say campaign for YouTube video dash the incoming YouTube video title. The next field is the audience. So I am going to select the audience I want to use. Then move on. The next is the segment field. I will leave it blank. Then the email subject, I'm just going to type check out my new video on YouTube. Move on to the next field, which is from name. I will type Femrise ICT. Then from email address, I will put my email address there. Then to name, here I'm just going to use the MailChimp meta tag of the recipient's name. Then move on to the template field. But in this case, I'm not going to use template. Instead, I will input my message into the email content field. I will say, hey, I just uploaded a new video on YouTube titled. I will input the title of the incoming video here using the populated data as a placeholder. Then move forward. It's talk about, I will input the description of the incoming video here using the populated placeholder data. Then click here to watch the video. I will also input the incoming video URL here, again using the populated data as a placeholder data. After filling all the necessary fields in the form, click Continue. Now we are on the last step, which is the test. So click on the test step button. The test was successful. At this point, the campaign has been created on MailChimp. The next action is to send the campaign. So how do we do that? Well, we need to add a new Zap step. So move your mouse below the first Zap action, over the mouse on the plus icon and click on it. Look or search for MailChimp on the pop-up, then click on it. Just as we select an app event on the previous step, we will do the same here. In this case, I will select Send Campaign, then click Continue. Because I already authenticated my MailChimp account, I don't have to do it again, so I will click the Continue button. The next step is to select the campaign I want to send. So I will input the campaign that was created in the previous step. When I click on this input field, as you can see, it lists the campaigns I have on the MailChimp account, which includes the one that was created in the previous step. We might be tempted to select the campaign from this list here, but that would be wrong because it will mean that we are inputting a static value when the value is supposed to be dynamic. Remember, we want to create a campaign and then use the campaign right away. Because of that, I will click on the custom tab here, then choose the campaign ID from the previous step. Then click Continue. Now, click the test button. Let's see if it works. There are no errors, and that is a good thing. So let me check my MailChimp account to see the status of the campaign. As you can see, first a campaign was created and it is being sent. So that is basically how you set up an automation system with Zapier. Click the publish button, and that is how you have your automation successfully set up. Regardless of any platform, apps, or services that you may want to automate, the process is the same. So if you understand how my automation is set up in this video, you will get everything right. Of course, if you have any question, let me know in the comment section. I will respond to your question. But if you understand this setup, you will be able to apply the knowledge to setting up your own automation for any service you want. I hope this video is helpful to you. My next video will be how you can use this system to send follow-up email campaigns. If you find this video helpful, please click the like button to appreciate my work. If you are interested in more videos like this, consider subscribing to my channel. And if you have questions regarding this tutorial, don't hesitate to use the comment section. I will respond to your comment ASAP. Thank you. Until the next video.